Hello and good morning. Welcome back to the AOE Farms channel. Thanks for joining me, guys. Today's pretty exciting. Feels like the first day of high school or something like that. Today I've got all my trays and my seeds set out, and we're gonna get starting them here in our trays. I've got quite a few things that I'm starting, mainly vertical growing crops. As far as what grows in my bed, I'm only doing Swiss chard and kale, and then I'm also growing some lettuce. The vertical growing stuff, we've got black cherry tomatoes, big beef tomatoes, some hybrid bell peppers, Malabar spinach, let's see, sugar snaps, okra, cucumbers, and some sweet peppers. That's going to be like banana peppers. And the cucumbers hopefully will end up pickling, so watch for a video for that. Alright, so to start off, I just want to start by showing you guys some of the trays that we have. There's 3 different sizes of the trays. The biggest of the trays, or I guess the smallest cell count, is this 72 cell. As you can see, they're really big. It's going to take a lot more soil to fill them, but it's nice because it gives a lot of room for like the tomatoes and everything. That it's going to take a little bit longer to grow. Next we have the I believe it's 128 cell tray. This is what we're going to do our kale and our Swiss chard in. And lastly, we have the 200 cell. What's good about the 200 cell is in a 50-foot bed, I could fit 200 things of lettuce, 200 heads of lettuce. So filling this thing up completely will cover the whole bed. As far as the Swiss chard will have 3 rows, 1 foot in between each row. So that's 3 times 50, 150 heads of Swiss chard and 150 heads of kale in a row. So these 128s, I'm going to have to do 3 trays, and 1 tray is going to be half Swiss chard, half kale. And I'm going to go ahead and just do half evenly, just so that if some don't germinate, I'll have a little extra. So yeah, and then as far as doing all these, I'm going to fill this up as well, and if I have extra, then great. So, as far as the soil that I'm using the Kellogg's raised bed potting mix. It's pretty nice. Usually you want to strain your soil, but I didn't get around to making one, so I'm just gonna have to really break it down with my hands as I'm putting it in. But it should be alright. I took a look and it's not too bad. Not too chunky. Ugh. So there's that. And I think I'll just get started with the lettuce first. So, you see, it's our potting mix. Lots of peat moss in there. So, we'll collect all these seeds. I just want to start by filling it up. And as I said, I don't have a strainer, so I'm just going to take a look as I'm going along and breaking up those big chunks, taking out those sticks. And when you're filling up your trays, you don't want to compact it down. Just want to let it sit in there. Later on we're going to water it, and that's going to kind of pack it in a little bit. Just want to make sure it's all distributed evenly. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to go through, just take our fingers, and we just want to make little dimples in all our soil. Give those little seeds somewhere to sit. Doesn't have to be anything too intricate. Somewhere for them to hang out. Alright. Next. So I've got my seeds right here. I did make a crucial mistake, and when you order seeds, they usually have multiple listings for some, and the seeds that I got are not pelleted, so they are very tiny and very fine, as you can see. So it's going to be kind of a long process of getting these in one by one. So I'll do this and you guys come back and I'll update you. Gotta do this 200 times. And that pelleted seed, pelleted seed is round, bigger, easier to grab, but that's alright. It'll be okay. Alright, that wasn't too painful. So I've got all my seeds in. I've gone ahead and made my popsicle stick. Lettuce, August 28th, that's when I'm doing it. Next I will just grab a little bit more soil and I just want to lay it on top. Do a light coating on top. Just get those seeds buried. Again, you don't want to plant these any more than a divot you can make with your finger. Just want it light, barely deep. And because those seeds were so small, some got 2 seeds, some got 3 seeds. Once they were in, I couldn't pull them out. So we'll see how what that does during germination. I might have to thin them out. So if I see 3 sprouts, then I'll leave the strongest looking one. All right. Alright, so now we want to go ahead and water it. I like to try and save as much as I can. This bag of soil I got was only $9.50 at Lowe's, so pretty good price. And there wasn't too much used. Alright, so now we'll take our water wand and we want to just apply even watering over the top. So let's do that. Start with a good soaking. Let it settle, and then we'll do one more. So we'll let this sit out, and for the next 3-4 days until things have germinated, we don't actually want to water them. I'll just go by and spray them with a spray bottle full of water. I want to aim to keep the soil moist. After germination is done, I will bottom feed the tray. So I will just lift this up. I have a watering can, and I'll just fill up the bottom. You just want to fill it up until these bottom teeth touch the water. You don't want to overwater it. And every once in a while, just come take a look. And if there's no water in there, then just go ahead and put some more water in. So just to recap, a couple things. You want to make sure you get pelleted seed. Makes this process a lot easier. It wasn't too bad with just the regular seed. Pelleted seed is going to be a little chunkier. It's going to be a ball. Now this is a sugar pea, and that's the actual sugar pea size, but that's about what the pelleted seed will look like. So figure out what tray you want. The way you figure out what tray you want is by figuring out the spacing of what you're growing in your bed. Again, we're going to have 4 rows of lettuce in one bed, and the row is 50 feet, and we're going to space them out 1 foot per row, so that's 50 times 4, which is 200. So we've planted a full thing of 200 cell lettuce. 3 rows of Swiss chard, and there's times 50, so that's 150. So we'll do our 128 trays, so we'll do 1.5 of those. Same with our kale. So figure out what you need and plant it in the right cell tray. Get pelleted seed, and I think that's it. I'm gonna finish these up and get them inside underneath the lights. So thanks again for joining. Stay tuned. In about 2 weeks, I will be breaking ground in my backyard and getting the beds formed, and I'll be putting the backyard together so I can get these guys into the ground. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Gonna get a power stance. So now we'll just take our, actually, I'll adjust myself with that.